Welcome to Straight from the Horse's Mouth, where we cut the BS and give you the truth all about sports. Once again, I am Bryce, and host of Bryce Davis.
What's good?
All right, so the game one is over.
In the bag.
The Pacers have the come-from-behind victory over the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Taliban strikes again.
Shocker. Shocker game.
Really
Stunned.
was. Really was.
Can't believe it. Let's just kind of go through it.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, from the get-go, it was curious to see how some of the matchups would shake down.
Yeah.
Obviously, Oklahoma City made the decision to pull Hardenstein from the starting lineup. They went with Case and Wallace instead. Kind of wanted to go over the more wide-open streets to keep up, I guess, with the up-and-down Pacers.
Yeah.
But that also left them vulnerability to be small, which I feel like kind of cost them at the end of
the game. Yeah.
But talk to me what you saw from
what
Oklahoma
I
City.
saw. This is going to be a good series.
Yeah.
Game one.
For everybody who thought it was going to be a boring series, listen to you, Jason McIntyre. You were wrong.
Wrong, baby. This is going to be a fun series. It was kind of back and forth, but then for that second and third quarter, it felt like Oklahoma kind of figured something out. And then we get to this fourth quarter, and once again, this is where the Pacers live, is in these fourth quarter minutes. They find ways to win. And honestly, I think looking back at it now, Indiana actually did play better overall. Shea had a great game, but the rest of Oklahoma didn't have as great of a game offensively as they could have. Whereas the Pacers, when you look at the box score, all of them had a very solid game. And that's going to be a problem for Oklahoma City if they can't prevent – if they have to make Haliburton win it for them through all four quarters and not let – the rest of Indiana kind of have solid games if Oklahoma is going to come back in the next game. Mm-hmm. I think that was what my takeaway was.
So a couple of things. One, the first quarter you can tell it was a little bit tight.
Yep.
Right. Finals game one. That's to be expected.
Yep.
Everybody was kind of a little bit helter-skelter. Obi Toppin had like 3 turnovers. Like, all right, bro, you need to come sit down. Rick Carlisle immediately took him out.
Yeah.
He was like, all right, bro, everybody need to settle in. Right.
Yep.
The OKC defense was relentless.
Yep.
They were just everywhere. I remember I tweeted this. I was like, these Indiana players got to be confused because it's like at one point I know they're like, damn, like I just dribbled past 3 of these dudes. Where these other niggas keep coming from? Like,
I make a move and there's another man right in front of me. I don't know where he's coming from.
They just keep spawning. Like, you know what I'm saying?
There's more than 5 players on the court.
There's more. Like, let's just stop the game. Let's just pause the game.
Count.
And because there has to be, they got in the NFL, what, 12 dudes on the field?
Yeah.
There has to be 7, 8 niggas out here, bro. I refuse to believe because I dribbled past 3 of them, and there's 5 niggas on this side. All right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I ain't rolling, bro. But, and this, I mean, your brother talked about watching the game. It wasn't leading to anything.
No.
It was not leading to anything. And the problem is when you turn a team over a lot, but you don't capitalize on it, then it essentially, yes, it stalls them out because they're not scoring.
Right,
turn the ball over.
You're not getting a scoring possession out
either.
of it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the problem is because OKC plays very aggressive defense that will lead them prone to foul.
Yep.
So Indiana in both halves got into the bonus before Oklahoma City twice.
Yeah.
So now. Yes, we're getting you turning the ball over, but when we don't, we're fouling you, and now you're going to the free throw line.
Yep.
So we still have a lead because we are stopping you from scoring in the half court, but we're not countering. So our lead is shrinking. It's not growing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there was a one point where the turnover was so high, and you looked, I'd be like, OKC should have like a 20-point lead right now. They were up like 9 or 10.
They should have been blowing them out.
Yeah.
Based on their turnover differential entirely. They should have been blowing them out, but that just wasn't happening.
Another thing that I noticed early was I feel like obviously Shea came in like, all right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bad as hell. Yeah.
But I felt like he also realized early that Jalen Williams was going to be on bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? All right.
Yeah.
It's the finals, dog.
I gotta go.
We don't got time for you to settle in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna score these points, and hopefully you get yours in the you figure it out in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he kind of said it a little bit in the second half, but not to the extent that you would like.
Yeah.
In order for Oklahoma City to definitively win this series and not be as close as this game was, Jalen Williams has to come out and be the second best player on the Thunder.
100%.
It can't be Lou Dort.
No.
Or Caruso.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It has to be Jalen Williams.
Yeah. Yep.
You're the guy who made the All-NBA team. You're the guy that made the All-Star team. You need to act like it.
Yep.
Because I feel like I believe in my heart of hearts that Siakam's going to consistently be there for
100%.
the Pacers.
But like I said, you look at the box score, and I think the average points for the whole Indiana Pacers was almost averaging like 19.
Let me see. So stats-wise, Tyrese had 14.
Yeah.
Nembhard had 14. Neesmith had 10. Siakam had 19. Turner had 15. Obi Toppin had 17. And TJ McConnell, this is how bad the offense was. At one point was the leading scorer for the Pacers, like deep into the second quarter, had 9 points. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you go to the Thunder side, Shea had 38.
Yep.
Cason Wallace had 6. Ludor had 15.
Yep.
He shot 5-9 from 3. Jalen Williams had 17. Chet had a measly 6 points.
Yeah.
And my thing with Chet is, and this is why I think that why I like the fact that Dagnall made an adjustment. I wish he would have waited first.
Yeah.
So you don't want a team to feel like you're forced, like you're kowtowing to them.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're the 1 seed. You gonna change to us.
Yep.
I would have started the big lineup.
Yeah.
And then see if that actually worked, because Chet, he's just not big enough to be the main big on the floor.
No.
Indiana is going to lead. Siakam is a tall dude.
He's a big dude.
Siakam is tall. Toppin's tall. Obviously, Tyrese is long. Neesmith has got some size to him. And obviously, at Turner, they going to always have some type of height on the court.
Yeah.
You can't, to me, afford to just go this small this quickly.
Yeah.
And Chet can't be the only guy, because I feel like I wish I could check the stats to see what the rebound percentage was. But I bet you they lost it. And I just think overall, to me, they left a lot to be desired out there. And the fact that they lost by 1.
Yeah. Well, that proves that Oklahoma could have played better.
Yes.
Like they could have, especially especially offensively. I think once Shea had to carry the scoring load, it was a wrap.
Yeah.
That's when you knew it's like, okay, yeah, no, that's not gonna this isn't gonna work for game 2. We gotta have a way better distribution of scoring across our team if we're gonna win.
And it was way too many one and dones, way too many one and done trips, way too many come down, ISO, jack up a shot. I didn't like that. Especially early on in the finals, you want everybody to touch the ball.
Yeah.
You want everybody to feel like they're in the series. You know what I'm saying? Here. We all here. We good. Give it back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I just think that early on, both offenses, to be honest with you, were highly unimpressive to me. Now, obviously, at the end of the game, it turned up.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, it was the first half, it was just so tight. And, it was very, very, just helter-skelter a little bit.
Yeah, that's. I think that happens when you kind of are meeting this opponent. Because I don't think they played each other at all this year.
They did.
They did? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember that game. I don't remember those games then.
I think Oklahoma City won twice, but Chet missed, I think, both.
Both of those games?
Yeah.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like when you're meeting an opponent for that first time in a series, I think it will always be like that. But definitely, I think props to Rick Carlisle also in this game for once again having the game sense to figure out like who are my best guys out there, and let's have them close and get this dub. Mm-hmm. I think this is going to be if he's on his game as a coach, Indiana's got a shot. Yeah.
I also think that, and this is Indiana's calling card, right? Their role players, they're not afraid.
No.
And a lot of them hit a lot of clutch shots to just keep them in the game, right? Thomas Bryant hit a 3. Yeah. Nembhard hit a 3. Like, Toppin was very, had a really bounce back game, especially the way he started off the game. Like, these guys, like, those were like those little games, like, end of the third, middle of the third, beginning of the fourth, right? Because they went on 2 separate runs in the fourth quarter. Those were, remember, I guess Tyrese only had 14.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like he was, like, out here, like, you know what I mean?
Cooking dudes,
like, those guys helped steady the ship. Even Mather, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With his, like, those guys helped steady the ship until, like you said, keep it close.
Yep.
They just keep it close. Because we saw with Oklahoma City, especially in the Denver series, where they can be had
in the close games.
Fourth.
Yeah.
They can be had in the fourth. Also, at the end of the game, I didn't like the fact that Shea, who had been aggressive all game, all of a sudden pass it up to Jalen Williams.
Yeah.
I thought that was
no too late for that.
Because I don't think Jalen was expecting it.
Yeah.
And your man's hadn't really had a good game all year.
Yeah.
All season. Not season.
All
game.
game.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like,
it's too late to start doing that now.
You got to take that shot. You got to take it in and let the cards live what they may. You can't just be like, all right, you take it. I thought that was weird. I'm like, that was like the antithesis to you all game. You know what I'm saying? Like, all game, you were kind of like, devil may cry.
He was my guy.
You know Like, I'm getting the bucket to hell with. I'm shooting this spot because he was hyper aggressive. Yeah, hyper aggressive.
Yeah,
and then for you to all of a sudden to pass it up,
that was
all right.
Yeah,
I didn't like that. And if I'm game, hey, nah, bro.
If you're
taking
if
the
you're
last
on,
shot,
if it's you, and we're just gonna live with that.
I don't care if you off. You're taking the last shot. Unless the nigga is wide open,
take it. Got you.
And you can pass the ball, John Paxson style, like Jordan did John Paxson.
Gotcha.
Other than that, Jordan still was like, fuck, I'm trying to score. Fuck, 3 niggas in front of me. I guess I'll pass it out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Other than that though, you take the last shot. Yeah. Don't you dare pass it up. I was still shocked though when. The fact that the Pacers just, they let him play it out.
Yeah.
And Tyrese Haliburton, like he did against Cleveland, like he did against Milwaukee, like he did against the Knicks. He like the Grim Reaper, man.
I'm telling you, dog. There's a reason they call him a terrorist. He's terrorizing people sometimes, and in those late game minutes, he's a terrorizer.
And it's an ugly looking shot, but when he shot it, I'm like, damn, that motherfucker might go in, and it went in. And I also and that's where you got to be like. I like Cason Wallace.
Yeah.
And he's a good defender. Again, he's a part of the Hounds of Hell. He's part of them. You know what I mean? Him, Williams, Caruso, Dort, they're all pest control. That's probably the nickname should be. Oklahoma City pest control. Yeah. Go get Wiggins 6'6". You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Be long out there.
Put somebody who's really comparable to his size.
That way when they switch, Tyrese seeing height.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's seeing height. He not, because Case Wallace, he was on him. I know I can comfortably get my shot. I'm taking my time.
I can get my shot off. Yep.
I'm going to comfortably get this shot off, and I'm going to live with it.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's some adjustment got to make. But if you're diagonal, you got to go big.
Yeah.
You got to give yourself more second chance shots.
Yep.
You can't let, I bet you they got beat on the boards. You can't just let that happen.
Yeah.
Right? You got to have a presence down low. But but shit, shout out to Indiana for, like I said, making it a series.
Yep.
Everybody was counting them out. Oklahoma City was the overwhelming favorite. Probably still are. Even
still
after game
are.
one.
Yeah.
Right? We've seen teams win game one.
Yeah.
I was telling you, brother, Oklahoma City last time they last time they was in the finals, they won game one. And then LeBron said, all right, enough.
You know
what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm him. Get out the way.
And then steamrolled them niggas and broke the team up, essentially. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Iverson stole one from the Lakers.
Didn't matter.
Shaq and Kobe said, all right.
You had your fun.
Yeah.
You stepped over Ty Lue, whatever.
Whereas, hell, even Jordan, his first time to print, they lost to the Lakers. Niggas like, oh damn, Magic still got it. Jordan's like, no,
you don't.
No, he ain't got it. He ain't got AIDS.
Get off the court.
Yeah, I'm winning this.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I just think that I do think there are things they can do. What do you think? I said they should go big. What do you think should be a change that Oklahoma City does next game?
I'm definitely wanting to see because in this game we saw Shea had it. Mm-hmm. He's got the shot. He can score on these dudes.
Right.
I want to see everyone else get involved in the scoring early. Mm-hmm. Like that first quarter, I want buckets from everybody else. That will also help them offensively to put Indiana's defense kind of on the back foot where it's like we don't know where it's coming from. Mm-hmm. We thought it was going to be Shea. It might be Jay Will. It might be Chet. If we can get those guys going early, that definitely helps us in the later game because they're going to have to look for everybody. That's what I want to see.
Now, Indiana did win the game. They were getting pickpocketed.
Yes. The muggers were still mugging.
Like a tourist in Brazil.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Defensively from Oklahoma, I was fine with most of it.
If you're Indiana, it has to worry you a little bit with the turnovers.
Yeah.
Like you got to look at damn, Because Tyrese Haliburton he had an interview after the first quarter, like, they were unforced. I'm like, nah, they look forced to me.
Yeah,
like,
they was coming for you.
It looked pretty forced. The force was with them. That you know what I mean? Like I don't know what you were saying, bro.
These weren't mistakes. This was taking the ball from y'all.
Yeah, they look very forced. So if you're and unfortunately as a coach, I can coach us out of unforced turnovers.
Yes.
Good passes. You know what I'm saying?
Play within the scheme.
Right. Don't dribble into double teams. Yep. Like stuff like that.
Pass
right?
early at a double team.
Right.
Split the double team.
There are things like you can coach, but like that's kind of like, I don't know. Like, and if you're Indiana, like, all right, guys, like I would say
I think the only way to stop that from happening would be to increase the pace of the offense.
But you make an argument, and Richard Jefferson talked about this, that worked against them early.
Yeah.
Because we're so, and maybe, but you also, it's for NBA Finals, so it's like, so maybe you're right. Now that they settle in, second game, we gotta like
we gotta
speed them up.
We gotta speed them up so that way they can't get into their defensive sets that cause us to have turnovers.
Yeah.
That would be the only change that I think you could really make. Because playing slower will not help. Yeah, you're gonna get even more turnovers.
But OKC definitely they limited transition points. They limited all those little pass aheads that the Knicks were allowing Indiana to have. So I think if you're Oklahoma City, you just got to feel like, okay, our second best player and our third best player, no call, no showed. Yeah, right. If we play a better, consistent game, and I'll be honest with you, they shot the ball terribly. Yeah. Indiana shot the ball well from deep. You know what I mean? So like that, you can negate that. Yeah. Oklahoma City is prone to giving up corner threes. Yes. They've been like that all season. I highly doubt that changes in the finals. Yeah. So if you're diagonal, that maybe that's something he just learned to, like, we're just gonna have to live with it. Yeah. But other than that, I think that they might want to slow down the game a little bit more. But the problem is when you're turning the team over as much as they were, you're playing fast. Yeah. Because you're aggressive, you're hyper. So it's a weird dichotomy is you want to be aggressive, but you're better in the half court. Yep. Because when you're aggressive this game, it resulted in you losing the game. Yep. So it was weird. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it worked for you, but it also worked against you. You know what I'm saying?
It worked against you back to what you said, where the turnovers weren't leading to points for Oklahoma.
Because that, but also because I think it sped them up. True. Because like we turn the ball over, so now we're like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. Now you're excited. Now you're happy.
But
you know what I mean?
I think that is also a point though. We had the turnovers. We're also not like the other guys aren't playing well offensively, so that's also a problem. Where it's like, I got the turnover, but now I'm like, I got it. I got to get these points, and it's like you kind of, you rush in and you just make those mistakes when you usually don't. Right. And that's where I think Oklahoma probably settles in game 2, and hopefully the guys just play better offensively, and then the blowout might happen.
Before we end it, why do you think a lot of people were so, especially news pundits and TV analysts, were like so down on this going into the finals?
Because they don't watch basketball. I think that's the reason. We and you, when we were talking about this matchup, said we could see this matchup being very exciting because of how these teams play.
Do you think it's not how they view small market teams?
Well, they're gonna have to get used to. I think this is the new NBA meta. The small market teams will be here from now on.
All right, let's.
They will be. They will be.
Will they?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've had Denver, Milwaukee. Which Denver played the Heat. That was a larger market, but still Denver was better. Milwaukee played Phoenix, which is not a big market.
Right. I'm just saying, if you look at going forward, the Knicks will still be good.
True. Yeah.
Houston is coming up.
True. Fair.
Detroit is coming up. I think Golden State will have like at least one last run in them.
Yeah.
Dallas is in the small market. We got the number 1 overall pick. Luka's in LA with the Lakers.
There.
So it ain't like it's not too many small.
That's
I
true.
think Boston will be back up in a year or two. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I think the only small market teams is Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Indiana.
Cleveland.
I'm not a believer in Cleveland.
I'm not either.
They'll be competitive though. Yeah. And then obviously until proven otherwise, we got to respect Minnesota.
Yep.
That's about it.
Okay, fair.
So everybody else, I think, but it's just this series is like you said, it's small. But I do think the market thing has to play. I think people are down on the market size.
Yeah.
I think people were down on the fact that we don't have a legitimate superstar in the finals, right? But also, there is precedent for that.
Yeah.
Like, was there a superstar in the 99 finals between the Knicks and the Spurs?
Not really.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Was there a superstar between the Spurs and the Nets? Spurs and the Pistons?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's precedent for us having finals that weren't like
superstar related.
You know,
heavy.
The Bad Boys when they went
Detroit
Detroit
versus
Portland. You know what I'm
Portland,
saying? Like was that some big superstar? Like, I think that yes, it was nice when Bird,
of course,
and Magic, and
Jordan and Kobe and Shaq.
It's cool and nice and all that, LeBron, Steph, and all that. But I think it's like maybe it's like that happened for so long.
Yeah.
That now that we're forced, that these guys are ready now.
Yeah.
And now these guys are
already on teams that we didn't expect teams to have a budding superstar.
You know what I'm saying? So now it's happening here in real time, and I just don't think people know kind of what to do with it or how to handle it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, well, just embrace it.
Yeah.
And hope that one of these guys who is growing up in front of our eyes and saying to the world, here I am, hopefully they stick around for a while.
Yeah.
Because I do think, and I will say this before we head off, I do think it's bad that guys are popping up and falling off.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Or teams are like, oh, here we are, and they're just disappearing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't like that.
Yeah.
As much as I do like parody, but like I don't like teams just to completely disappear.
Yeah.
I want somebody to I want somebody to stick around.
You got to have a constant.
I want somebody to be like,
you have to have a constant.
I want like
having LeBron constantly there did help create narratives.
Because I either want a constant villain or a constant hero.
Exactly.
I want to root for somebody to win.
Yep.
A la Jordan in the 90s.
Yep.
Or somebody to lose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. Pick a team that people don't like to lose all the time. I don't know. But you want somebody to be like, this team needs to lose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It helps.
This team needs
They gotta go. I don't want to see another one.
Yeah,
it's like our Chiefs.
Like, yeah, right. Or against the bad boy Pistons.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to take this team out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And every time they win, it's like, okay, what team is it?
Who's next?
Right. Somebody, Magic lost to them. Clyde lost to them. All right, Jordan, you keep losing. All right, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, come on. You're our only hope.
Yeah.
So we need somebody to be the big baddie.
Yeah.
If it's Oklahoma City, then damn it, it's Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
People don't like them. They say Shay's a foul merchant. They say they're overly aggressive defense. Fuck, if they the villain, then I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
If they win, and they come back next year, then maybe somebody else from the East needs to rise and step up. Who knows, right?
Yep.
Maybe that's the Celtics. Maybe it's the Knicks. Maybe it's Tyrese Haliburton. Maybe this is a thing. Maybe they'll be back next year.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I think if you like sports like basketball, give them a shot before just killing them.
Writing them off.
You know what I mean? Writing them off. Like, because there have been plenty of superstar series that poo-pooed.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Play Iverson versus Kobe and Shaq was, you know what I'm saying?
Sleeper. Yeah.
A lot of Jordan finals weren't as competitive as people thought.
Yeah,
he was up 3-1 against Barkley.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not like not all these series were these big. Hell, when Garnett went against Kobe the first time, they monkey stomped his ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was like they were. LeBron stomped. He stomped out Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? LeBron got stomped out by Steph and KD. Not all these superstar series
are fun.
Gave us superstar results.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just, I think that people
just give us some time.
Give us some time. But anyway, man, that's all we have for you guys today, man. We'll be just to let you guys know we're gonna be doing this kind of routinely as the finals go on. We're recording a lot sooner, a lot quicker. Expect a lot of episodes over the next couple of weeks. But you can follow me on Facebook at Bryce Odin. You can follow me on Instagram at Bryce David Odin. Bryce, go and tell him.
Follow me on Twitter, Bruce Leroy.
And remember, you're here from the Horse Mountain. Listen, as we told you, we out. Peace.